desire and reality.
A bit.
Between fact and breakfast, madness lies, lies, lies.
A bit.
I hate you, and yet I hate you. There's love, rage, and aches of the Pretension by Fry and Laurie.
Here we are again.
Hugh, to my knowledge, you've only 3 times in your life spoken a truer word than that.
Stephen, of course I can remember the first 2 occasions, that goes without saying, but what was the 3rd time?
Well, you said that the BBC's motoring programme, Top Gear, had become irritatingly facetious.
Yes, I remember it well. Paris, a crisp November morning. You wore grey, the Germans wore bleached denim.
You said, and correct me if I'm oversexed, you said, why can't they talk about cars on Top Gear instead of farting around trying to be funny?
Yes.
I mean, you said, people don't road test Nissan Micras on comedy programs, so why do they...
The latest offering from Nissan comes in either 3 or 5-door hatchback form, with a choice of the 1-litre or 1.3-litre 16-valve twin-cam engine. Although the design is overall quite satisfactory, there are 1 or 2 irritating little niggles. For example, this boot lid is awkward and quite heavy to lift. Imagine trying to heave the lifeless body of Kenneth Baker into that on a wet floor. Elsewhere, the car is quite pleasingly designed.
Well, time now to introduce some people onto the show. First out of the guest box is a woman who's variously been described as a woman, a risk-taker, a deal-maker, a heartbreaker, a gravel raker, a baker, a faker, 3/4 of an acre, and an iron fist in an iron glove with iron bits sticking out from the knuckles. Ladies and gentlemen, please give some muted and barely polite applause for Caroline Quentin.
Although the controls are quite well laid out, they are often quite difficult to read while driving at night, as is A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth.
Caroline, it's tremendous to have you here. Have you come far?
Well, no, I was just over there.
Oh, well, that's not too bad then, because you used to live in Cairo, didn't you?
No.
No, I see. It was a bit of a wild guess, actually. Mind you, it would have been creepy if I'd been right, wouldn't it? Yes. All right, OK, well, why don't you take the weight off your feet and transfer it onto your buttocks while I introduce a man who's variously been tipped for the post of Minister of the Interior in the Republic of Chile until that unfortunate business of the out-of-date weekend away saver daybreak ticket from Paddington to Reading. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please move your hands repeatedly towards each other until they make contact, releasing energy in the form of sound, for Patrick Barlow.
Another slightly annoying problem is that the bonnet release catch can get a little bit stiff if it's not regularly greased. as can A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. It's right here.
Patrick, a great pleasure to have you here.
Well, Stephen, it's terrific to be here.
Well, there's no need to lie.
No, I wasn't. I was
Well, there's no need to go around sneering and telling snide, creepy little lies. Oh, shut up.
No,
Just shut the arse up, will you? Hugh, points out of 10.
Road holding and economy 7. Performance and styling 5. Overall likability 0.
Well, time now for an amusing little item written by a colony of dragonflies from Devon in Exeter.
You're a parent. You have children. You want those children to become Premier League footballers. Well, this is the place for you. The Dave Wilson School in Ipswich, in the heart of London's East End.
Now, shake out.
The name of Dave Wilson will be familiar to anyone who knows it, and to those who followed the fortunes of Reading Town Reserves during the dark days of the 1970s.
Oh yeah, they were dark. They were very, very dark days. I actually thought them was dark, but now that you mention it, they were ever so dark.
Dave played in a total of 2 games for the side before a cartilage snapped in his head.
Okay, next one.
Following the accident, Dave tried his hand at many things. Astrologer, nightclub owner, interior designer, shadow home secretary. The jobs came and went, but nothing seemed to stick. Until Dave turned up one day to watch his nephew playing for the school side.
Yeah, well, I saw a chance, to get involved. Football's been good to me, and I saw a chance to do something back.
Right, now, listen. Okay, now, football is a very simple game. What is it? Right, now, what is the object of the game of football? Run into the box and fall over. Let's try that now. One at a time, Ricky, off you go.
What I'm really trying to do here is to teach fundamental footballing skills at the earliest possible age. I've actually started teaching my 8-month-old son, and I've got to say he's a natural. Falls over like a diamond.
Now, listen. A lot of you, as you go, not getting your head back. Okay? Nice and loose in the neck. As you get into the box, a lot of height, goes like this, okay? Same applies for the static fall. Right, that's when you run into the box, you've forgotten to fall over, you're just standing there, okay? Nice and loose in the neck and... Okay then, limping, 2 legs to the pitch, go.
That's in the change room. What is it?
Never you mind what that is. Right, you lot, come here.
Makes you sick, doesn't it?
Right, listen, I'm going to say this once and once only, okay? Martin has found this in the changing room, right? Now then, I don't want to see any of you mucking around with these things, okay? Any one of you sees one of these, I want you to tell me or Mr. Collins immediately, all right? You want to make it to the top, it's training. No one ever got on in football messing around with these things. Right, off you go. It makes me sad. Yeah, you see, people just don't realise how much training goes into being an estate agent. Virtually none.
I don't mind growing old. It does have some disadvantages, I suppose. I can't stoop to weed the garden so much as I used to be able to. Nor can I bend down to take it from my husband.
I think that Virginia Bottomley's doing the best she can, you know. It's just a shame it's crap. Good morning.
I beg your pardon.
I said good morning.
At last!
I'm sorry?
After all these years! Welcome, comrade, welcome. Sit down, rest your weary elbows. You'll take a glass of vodka. Mr. Dalliard, Mr. Dalliard, break out the false passports and the rabbit skin hats. We are going to Moscow. What news, Comrade Stalin, in rude health, I trust?
Wait a minute. All I said was good morning.
Precisely. The code. It is now 27 summers since Comrade Malensky stood slightly to the left of where you are now and told me that one day a man would come into this shop and give notice of his allegiance with the phrase, "Good morning." And that on hearing those words, Mr. Dalliard and I were to detonate our relatives and fly to Dover.
Fly to Dover.
Where a man named Smith would see us safely onto a goods train delivering livestock to Minsk.
No, wait. When I said good morning, all I meant was, you know, good morning.
Oh.
That's all I meant.
Ah. Well, in that case, please accept my green-felt apologies.
Right. I just came in here to buy a model.
A model?
Yes.
A model?
Yes.
A model?
Yes.
A model?
Yes, that's right. I want to buy a model.
With or without plastic struts?
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe a model aeroplane.
Let me ask a different question in the same way. Who is this aeroplane for?
It's for my son. It's his birthday.
Your son?
Yes.
Just your son?
Yes.
And when is this birthday of his?
Wednesday.
Yes, that's what I said. When's the day?
No, Wednesday.
Are you stupid or just plain deaf?
Wednesday.
Oh, you are genuinely stupid. I do apologize. Sorry, I thought you were just being deaf. Mr. Dalliard, command the earth to swallow me up. I do apologize, sir. Life must be hard enough for stupid people without tactless old bastards like that lady over there rubbing it into your face with salt widely. Mr. Dalliard, I've gone peculiar now. So, in plain flavoured English, when is your son's birthday?
The day after Tuesday.
The day after? My word, doctors are so specific these days, aren't they? And are you expecting this boy to be a boy or a girl?
No, it's my son. He's 9. This is going to be his 10th birthday.
His 10th? Oh, sir, I fear you're spoiling him. I was only ever allowed one. On my birthday, usually. Still, I dare say you know your own business best. Just don't come bleating to Mr. Dalliard and me if this son of yours turns out to be one of those drug jockeys we're always reading about on television. A glass of water?
No, thank you.
A cup of water?
No.
A plate of water, then?
No, thank you. I just want a model aeroplane.
A model aeroplane of water?
No. I don't want any water. Forget the water. I just want to buy a model aeroplane. I thought perhaps the Messerschmitt 109E in the window.
The Messerschmitt 109E in the window.
That's right.
Fizzy or still? That doesn't count. I had my hand on my head. Just ignore anything I say when my hand is on my head. So, the Messerschmitt 109E.
Yes, and I suppose some glue.
Some glue? Then your son is already a drug jockey. Mr. Dalliard and I warned you on bended legs, but would you listen? No. Now look at you. Hey-ho.
What's this?
Messerschmitt 109E and a fix for that degenerate junkie son of yours.
But he's already done.
Sir?
Well, the model's ready assembled.
Well, you can't expect us to do all the work ourselves, sir. The whole joy of modelling lies in carefully scraping off the paint, soaking off the transfer, taking the plane apart piece by piece, putting each piece into a small polythene bag, which is then sealed and placed inside the box. An achievement, something to be proud of. Rare words indeed in these days of supersonic hedgehog brothers and ready-sliced golf shots.
That's it. Just forget it. Forget it. I'll try somewhere else.
Mr. Deliard has a gun trained on you through the curtain, sir. At a single word from me, he will blow your head clean off with as much mercy as if you were a helpless seal pup called Arnold.
What?
I'm so sorry we couldn't help you, sir. We do try to accommodate our customers, but not being a hotel, we find it almost impossible.
Right, well, all I can say is this has not been a very good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Deliard! Mr. Deliard, you've been activated after all these years. Strange man.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of you may be thinking, you know, hello, they've got these guests on the show, but the guests don't seem to do very much. You know, the tall one and his slightly less tall, less talented friend seem to have hogged it all. Well, that's not actually true, because how many people watching now and here in the studio tonight actually noticed that Patrick here was in that last sketch? Anybody? Anybody notice that? Well, that's interesting, because actually Patrick, in that last sketch, played the part of my colleague, Stephen Fry. Now, see, Patrick, looking at that, it is absolutely amazing. You know, it's hard to believe it's the same person. Did you do a lot of work for the role?
Oh, I did, yeah. I mean, I basically devoured all the source material I could find.
Right, right. I'm just thinking, in case we've got any viewers from planet Earth, it'd be quite nice if you put that into a known language. You devoured all the...
Well, basically, I read everything I could find.
You read a lot.
On Stephen.
Right.
His school years, his biography, his novel.
You read his novel?
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
I didn't.
No, I didn't know.
And then I started to concentrate on the walk.
Although, in actual fact, you were standing still all the way through that.
Yes, I was. But you've got to be able to walk before you can stand.
Right, fascinating. Well, Caroline, I don't want to leave you out. I suppose some people may be thinking now, hello, I suppose Caroline played the part of Hugh Laurie, but that's not actually true, is it?
No, I played the wall behind your head.
Right, I think we can see that now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Caroline, did you have to spend a lot of time in makeup for that? Was that...
No, about 20 minutes, that's
that
all.
all?
Yeah, a couple of coats of primer and an eggshell top coat, and I was ready.
No coving?
We did talk about it, but I didn't think my wall would have coving.
No, right. Well, Caroline, not a very demanding role, I suppose, having to play the wall, but here's something that people won't have noticed, and that is that at this actual moment, Caroline is actually playing me.
Yes, that's right. Underneath all this makeup, it's actually me, Hugh Laurie, sitting right here. Tricks of the trade there. Anyway, now on with the meaningless slaughter of migrating birds.
Standing on the blocks, we pack shoulder to shoulder. There's faces in my face, I can feel it getting colder. Stores open, nobody get out. Look here, little old woman, get out. Shout, say, get up, stand up, off on your feet. Make space for the lady, somebody give her a seat. She just standing there aching, her whole body shaking. She started falling over.
was the damnedest thing. I was in this hardware store about 2 weeks ago, buying a 30-gallon drum of car wax for my daughter-in-law, when suddenly the door burst open and 30 coppers came lumbering in and arrested everyone. It turned out the place was a brothel.
So they've closed all the bottles around us. Bloody bingo halls now.
If you've got a jar of marmalade in a cupboard, right, and you take the marmalade out of the cupboard, right, you've still got the marmalade, yeah? It's not in the cupboard, but you've got the marmalade. You've got to put the marmalade somewhere else, haven't you? Of course you have. It stands to reason. There's the cupboard, no marmalade, but you've still got the marmalade. It's the same with sex and violence on television. Yeah, you can take sex and violence off television, but where are you going to put them?
Yes, I've had 2 letters read out on points of view now. Rather proud of that. They say that if you can get 3 read out, you're automatically sectioned under the Mental Health Act.
Hello. If you're anything like me, then you probably wash your hair quite often, and you probably use a shampoo. You're pretty tall, you're called Stephen, and you haven't got much time for gardening. Well, I may just have the answer for you, Stephen. It came to me yesterday. Oh, tell a pointless transparent lie, the day before yesterday, when I was standing here bent over the wash hair basin. Here's a thing, I thought, that we do a couple of times a week, which utilises the very same key nutrients and minerals that any gardener will tell you are essential for healthy plants and gums. So, Stephen, I've come up with this new 5-minute addition to my hair grooming and facial scrub programme. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll probably like to rinse after your second wash, and you'll have a friend called Hugh who plays with an Etch-a-Sketch in your airing cupboard. Hugh, come on out and help me explain my new breakthrough in hair. Righto. I was just telling the viewing several there that after the second wash, I like to have a thorough rinse.
No harm in that if it's done sensibly.
My point exactly. Now, it's at this very stage when my new development comes in. Here, in my freshly watered, protein-enriched hair, are the ideal conditions, neutral balanced pH-active liposomes and gentle cleansing agents for a small but attractive town garden. Hugh, what have you decided to sow?
Well, I've gone for a mix of dog roses, begonias and clematis.
No vegetables?
Well, I thought I might do 1 or 2 potatoes just behind the crown there.
So a general utility garden?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Now it's time for me to put my Pifco Tresmatic onto its lowest setting and let nature do the work. Well, let's see how it's fared, shall we?
Oh, I think that's come out rather well.
Simple, cheap, effective. Well done, Hugh, my head gardener. That's amusing. Of course, your own hair garden needn't be confined to this limited range of plants. The sky's very much the limit. Climbing wisterias, alpines, runner beans, you name it. And if you have dandruff problems, you might consider the virtues of a traditional Japanese snow garden.
Like me, you'll be keen to experiment. You'll enjoy wearing lycra one-pieces alone in your bedroom. Stephen, what are you doing?
Hugh, I'm south-facing.
Well, back to the airing cupboard with me.
See you next wash day. Bye-bye. Between imagination and desire, between reality and ambition, between what is known and what is feared, between purpose and despair, between sense and shite, between the visible world and the inner world that straddles the curtain between what we know and what we think we suspect, hangs a dark veil that waves gently between the beckoning finger, drawing us into the world of what could be and what never couldn't be impossible to dread. Or do they? Perhaps it isn't. Maybe we were only dreaming. Perhaps the answers can be found in that other realm that lies between the foundry of the heart and the sweating laundry room of the imagination, where the only rhythms are the smiles of a forgotten winter and the incessant beating of the frightened human thigh that we call fear. I'm Gelliant Gutfright, and tonight's tale must give us pause. It is called Flowers for Wendy, but might it rather have been called You Have Been Warned? No, it might not. Andrew Beckett is on his way home from work. A nice young man is Andrew Beckett, a kind word for everyone and everyone for a kind word, liked by all who come into contact with him. Another hard day's work, another quiet evening in, perhaps a little television, a crossword. Maybe he'll finally get round to cataloguing those... Wait, what is he thinking of? Not just another evening, after all. It's Wendy's birthday, dinner at Mario's. But first he should... Strange, he's never noticed that flower seller before, yet he comes home this route every day. Providential.
Good evening, Mr. Beckett.
But that's extraordinary. How could you possibly have known that it was evening? You aren't wearing a watch.
I know most things, Mr. Beckett. How about buying some flowers for your wife's birthday?
But this is uncanny. That's exactly what I want. How could you possibly have known?
How about some roses, Mr. Beckett? All the ladies love a rose.
Oh, now, what are these?
Ah, don't want to bother with those, sir. They are special blooms.
Oh, rather splendid. What are they called?
Ranunculus pugnans.
What?
Commonly known as old man's wrinkle, sir. Or the fighting buttercup.
I must say, the smell is very...
You didn't get that name by accident, Mr. Beckett.
What name?
Fighting buttercup. They say that the bouquet of this bloom can bring out all the anger in a person.
Oh, what nonsense.
That's what they say, sir.
Superstitious hooey.
No doubt about it, sir.
Ass clap.
As you say, sir.
Rhino bollocks.
£5, sir. But I must
Oh, get out of it.
Poor Andrew. Poor Wendy. A kind thought for a birthday and a simple bunch of flowers. But when your life is a perilous yo-yo, eaten by destiny's right hand, when fate lights the cigarette, when chance plays the trumpet not very well, and hazard deals the cards from the bottom of your aunt... Oh, come on! Then you must expect the unexpected.
Jesus, suffering ass, this bloody door!
I don't understand.
Don't understand? Don't understand what, you hopeless saucer of pus? It's a freak mothering door, and it keeps getting vomiting stuck. That's all there is to understand. It's not differential calculus. How have you done, you pointless tart? You've broken the snotting banister.
Andrew, what's wrong?
I'm gonna get a drink. Happy birthday, you saggy old bitch.
They're lovely. And they
Smoke-me, dribble up feces. That's better. Ah, that's much better.
After all, it's only a door. It's not the end of the world. Nothing to get annoyed about.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Yes. Sorry I didn't hit you with a sock full of gravel, you flabby, drivelling waste of clothes.
Wendy, darling.
Wendy, darling, I'll darling your ass with a rusty lawn sprinkler.
What's happened?
Happened? Nothing's happened that a Swiss Army penknife can't sort out. Now, why don't you take these bottom-wipingly ugly flowers and stick them into your lungs?
The flowers! Of course! Listen, Wendy, I think I know what's happened, what this is all about. You see...
And so Wendy Beckett sat at her husband's knees and listened to a story. A fantastic story. A tale that danced along the crumbling brim of credibility, yet never once lost its footing. A tale of walking home, and pavements, and forgettings of birthdays, and rememberings, and wantings to buy flowerings, and discoverings of a flower stalling just at the right momentings. And when he had finished, Andrew Beckett took his wife's face in his lovely young hands.
Now, Wendy, do you see? Do you understand what's happened?
Oh, Andrew, I feel such a fool.
Well, Wendy, I think we've both been a little mad. But what matters now is the future. It's us.
Oh, Andy.
Oh, Wendy.
A happy ending, you may think. Loose ends tied up, the books balanced. And yet, what of our friend the blind flower seller?
Old man's wrinkle, madam, or the fighting buttercup. They say that the bouquet of this bloom brings out all the anger in a person.
Really?
And when they've done that for a bit, they explode. To you, madam, nothing.
Thank you very much.
Good night, if you can. Well, we come now to that part of the show where I say, well, we come now to that part of the show.
Oh, get on with it.
Have you chosen your cocktail, Caroline?
Yes, I'll have a quick one with you, Stephen, please.
A quick one with you, Stephen, it will be. For you, Patrick?
Could I just have a glass of water, Stephen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the answer is no, you can't. I do apologize. You can have a quick one with you, Stephen. A quick one with you, Stephen. Now, you may be making this at home, in which case what you'll need is a measure of gin, 2 measures of gin, 1 of gin, a measure of gin, an item of clothing worn by any member of the cast of 2.4 Children. In this case, I'm using a pair of Gary Olson's Fruit of the Loom Y pants. a measure of gin. Now into the cocktail shaker of my mouth, I throw these 6 magnificent words. You please, music, Mr. will play. I give a brief shake, and I pour out this golden phrase. Please, Mr. Music, will you play?